How would you like a mobile app that helps you manage your finances by controlling how, when, and where your cards are used? Well, CardValet can help you do just that. CardValet is a debit card management and fraud mitigation tool that is now a free service for you through PCMCU. First, I'm going to go through a brief overview of this service, followed by a tutorial of the ins and outs of CardValet once you have downloaded it onto your smartphone. So let's learn how you can start safeguarding your debit card from fraud today. So what does CardValet do exactly? Well, CardValet allows cardholders to turn their cards on and off from their smartphone in just one touch. You can also specify and monitor when, where, and how your cards can be used. CardValet also offers instant transaction alerts that tell you what is going on with your card. For example, CardValet notifies you immediately of potential fraud so you can take action. What is really cool about this is, say for example you are in the drive-thru at a fast food restaurant and you just gave them your debit card for payment. You can expect an alert coming through your phone as soon as the cashier is handing you back your card. CardValet delivers transaction controls that will approve or decline a transaction based on each cardholder's preferences for merchant types, locations, and threshold limits. Through this tool, you can control family spending, say for example controlling where, when, and how your kids can use their debit card. It's like setting an allowance. Businesses can also use these controls to manage and monitor their employee spending. For example, setting a certain merchant type of where the card would be accepted. Now, CardValet can do so much more, so from here we're going to jump right into the app. The first thing you will want to do is download the app from either the App Store or the Play Store. Once you have it downloaded, go ahead and open the app. At this point, you will want to go to the New User Registration area near the bottom of your screen. Click on that tab to register your card and create an account. Registration is 3 easy steps. The first thing you will do is enter your debit card information consisting of your 16-digit card number and then click Submit. Then you'll enter in your personal information including your address, your zip code, and your security code, which if you remember is those 3 numbers on the back of your debit card. And then you will enter in the last 4 numbers of the primary account holder's social security number and click Submit again. This will bring you to the CardValet Terms and Conditions and Privacy Policy page. You will want to accept both of these terms of use prompts. You're almost there. Now you will create your account. Here you can use the drop-down arrow to have the app give you suggested usernames, or you can type in your own username that you create yourself. You will then create a password, re-enter your password, and finish all of the other account setup areas to then be directed to the login screen. It is important to remember here that when creating a password, it must be 8 to 12 characters in length and have at least 1 uppercase, 1 lowercase, 1 number, and 1 special character in it. Once at the login screen, go ahead and enter the username and password you just created in Account Setup. Click the Remember Me box to save your username so it's pre-populated in the app when you log in the future. Also, the eye icon next to Password shows the characters that are typed in when you type your password. So if you want to make sure that your password was typed correctly, you can click the eye image and it will show you the characters you've typed. And you're in! You are now at the home screen of CardValet, which looks like this. The first thing we are going to do now that we are in is click anywhere on the top of the screen under Cards. This will bring us to our card details. This is where you'll go if you want to turn your debit card on or off. All you need to do is simply tap the icon that is green, where you will receive this prompt asking you if you are sure you want to turn your card off. This will make it so all transactions except recurring payments are denied until you turn your card back on. After you say yes to the prompt, your screen will then look like this, with a little red circle showing on your PCMCU debit card indicating that the card is turned off. To turn the card back on, simply tap the same area that you did to turn it off. If you decide to turn your card off, all in-store and online transactions will be declined aside from anything that is recurring. If you have your card turned on, the preferences for locations, merchants, or thresholds, which we'll get to in a little bit, only applies to in-store transactions, so online transactions can still be made regardless of these set preferences. From here, we are going to click on the Control Preferences tab. This is going to bring us to where we can set location, merchant type, and threshold preferences. Please note that these control preferences that you are setting up apply to in-store purchases only. Any online or recurring transactions will continue to be accepted regardless of these preferences. Now I'm going to spend a minute talking about this gray versus blue concept. If you notice in the image on the left, the selection in orange is showing that all the icons are gray in color. This means that as a user, you currently have no preferences set in these areas. Shifting to the image on the right, you can see that one of the icons is now showing up in blue. This means that this user has gone in and set a threshold amount on their debit card, which we will get to shortly. But what is important here is anything that is gray means you have no preferences set in these areas, and anything in blue means you do have preferences set. If you click on location, you'll be taken to where you can click the drop-down arrow for selecting a location, and can choose to either set your location as My Location, My Region, or International. Keep in mind that location services are based on your cell phone location. What is important here is location preferences are only applied for card-present transactions. This means if you were to set a location preference and still wanted to use your debit card to order something online outside of your set location area, your debit card would still be accepted. If you select My Location, this will make it so CardValet will not allow in-store purchases when the card is used and your mobile device is not in the vicinity of the merchant. Location preferences will be applied to card-present and recurring transactions only. This means that online transactions will not be affected by the location feature. If you select My Region, this is where CardValet will not allow in-store purchases when the card is used outside of the defined My Region. So if you decide to add a region, you can see by the image in the middle that this user decided to set their region as the whole state of Wisconsin, which you can do by scrolling in on the map. So if anyone tried to use this user's debit card outside of their region of Wisconsin, the transaction would be declined. And as always, make sure you save the changes you have made. Lastly, if you select International, this will make it so CardValet does not allow international transactions to be done. When you click on Merchant Types, this is where you can allow transactions for selected merchant types. So for example, say you only wanted your child to be able to use their debit card for gas and entertainment. You could turn off all of the other merchant types so that their card would only be accepted at a gas station and for purchases in the entertainment category. By leaving this feature off, you are allowing all merchant categories to be approved and the button will remain gray. However, to turn this feature on, click this button and it will turn green and provide a list of all of the merchant categories available to toggle on and off. Any category that has a green button will indicate that the merchant category is allowed. To turn off a specific merchant category, click the button and it will turn from green to gray. And last, for the control preferences category is the threshold amount. This is where you can set a threshold amount where any transactions above the specified amount would be declined. What is extremely important here is if you turn on threshold service, you must enter in an amount or all transactions will be declined. So say you go in and just to see what threshold amounts are all about and you don't turn it back off or set a specified amount, the pre-populated dollar amount in the box is 0. That's just what the CardValet app does. So this is why you must enter an amount or your transactions would be declined. Please also note that these dollar amount limits cannot exceed the threshold amounts that are set forth by the credit union. Keep in mind, merchant type and threshold preferences will only apply to online and card-present transactions. Recurring transactions will still be approved. You can also get more information on all that control preferences entails by clicking on the Tell Me More question mark. The 3-line icon you will often see throughout the app is the More Options link. Under this option, you can see there are different categories of more capabilities of CardValet. The Accounts link will take you to where you can see all of your active accounts within the app. By clicking on a specific account, you will be brought to the account details where you can view alert preferences and recent transactions. The Transactions link will bring you to your recent transactions. Notice the image on the right shows transactions that have already cleared this account, as well as the one on the top, which is still pending. The Messages link will show you all of your transaction alerts you have received recently. Notice how some of these messages say posted charge, meaning they have cleared, and the top one says pending charge, for it's not cleared this account yet. The Contact Us link brings you to PCM Credit Union's contact information, so if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. You can also email us and find us on Facebook under this link. The Find Us link will allow you to locate where the PCMCU main office is, as well as locate ATMs. Settings allows you to do many different things in CardValet, as you can see from the image on the right. As mentioned earlier in the video, CardValet notifies you immediately when you swipe your debit card, sending an alert to your smartphone. So if you look over on the right-hand side of the screen here by notifications, if you want to turn off those alerts so you don't get one every single time you swipe your debit card, you can go ahead by tapping on the green area right there by notifications. Settings also allows you to manage your accounts, where, say for instance, if you were only interested in receiving alerts or seeing transaction history on just your checking account instead of checking and savings, you could specify that here. You can also change your password, put in the best contact information to reach you, specify Do Not Disturb time, where notifications will not be sent unless it is in the specified time window you have indicated. The only notifications that will always be sent are for in-store transactions where the card is present. Under Settings, you can also add another card. This is where you could add your husband's, wife's, children's cards, etc. Settings also has the ability for you to view the terms and conditions and privacy policy if you are ever in need of going back and reading those over again. And lastly, under the More Options menu is also where you log out of CardValet. Logging out will bring you back to the login screen as shown here. Okay, just a few more things to cover here. The question mark under the More Options menu will bring you to the help screen if you're in need of more information on how to get started, how to register, and more. On the main checking screen, you can also view your alert preferences. So here you can indicate if you'd like to be alerted for all of your transactions, or you can set preferred transaction alerts. You can also view your recent card-based transactions from this screen. Under Linked Accounts, this is where you can view your account details. Under Alert Preferences, you can set more threshold amounts. This is where you can set up to receive an alert when your account balance is below a specified amount that you set. The low balance alert is only checked when the CardValet application is open. This control compares the account balance with the low balance alert threshold you have set, but again, only when the app is opened. If the balance falls below the threshold when the app is not open, no alert will be created. Then always remember to log out of CardValet when you are finished. Now, we realize this was a lot of information to take in, so if you have any questions regarding this service, please do not hesitate to call one of our PCMCU branches. You can also email info@pcmcu.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.